Alright, hey, how's it going, everybody? In this video, we will work on getting the AI to kind of evade us when he's taken a little bit of too much damage. So we'll go ahead and check out what we have so far. Go on through, we'll see he's patrolling right now. He's aiming at us, he's firing. We're taking damage, we can get away from him. And I'll start patrolling again. Go ahead and shoot at him. Kill him. And he's dead. And we should turn on, I should turn off the collision on him and stuff like that, so we'll go ahead and grab that real quick. AI character. Death. And let's turn off the collision. Set collision enabled, and no collision. On the capsule component, that way we can kind of walk around and push them around and stuff like that. Alright, so AI, and we're going to create a new folder. Call this EQS. Open this guy up. And what we actually have to do first is go to Edit. And I believe it's Editor Preferences. Yeah, I think. And Experimental. And then under AI, you want to check Environment Creating System. Turn that on. Close this out. So now what we can do is AI Environment Query. I'm just going to call this Hide. And now we also want a blackboard and a behavior tree. So EQS behavior, EQS blackboard. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and let's set up our behavior tree first. Well, what we can anyways. So we want a sequence. And the first one, we want to run EQS query. Obviously it doesn't have one yet, but that's okay. And then move to. And then here we actually need to make what's called a task blueprint. So let's minimize that, and let's create that. So we go into our blueprint class, search, just type in BTT, and then it's a BT task blueprint base, behavior tree task, basically. And this will be called a delay. Okay, so we want to go to functions, override, event receive execute, and then cast to AI, AI character. And I think what we want to do, we'll go ahead and grab our AI. And hold on one moment, please. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we basically right now need to figure out how we want to set up our EQS. If we want it to be based on health, or so on. So we'll go ahead and make a dummy variable for now. Is seen due to Boolean, and then once we go into the delay, we will get is seen, and we want to do a branch is seen, and then on the false we want to do our delay, and I'm going to do a range. Let's do it between like 2 and 3. And then we're going to do our finish execute success. And on off of true, we also want to go into success here. So go back to our behavior tree. I want to do our delay there. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3. It's the execution index. It shows, you know, it's the order in which it's going to be executed. Okay, so we can go ahead and close that out, and close that out. Now let's open up our Blackboard, and we actually want to create some variables here. So the red is going to be our, it's going to be a vector called destination. And let's go ahead and make a Boolean and call it stop EQS. Just in case, I'm not sure if we're actually going to use it or not, but we'll go ahead and see. So, Blackboard key here is there, the EQS query that we're actually going to be running. Query template, we'll select hide. The move to is destination, and the delay shouldn't have a variable attached to it, so. Okay. So that should be good for now for that stuff anyways. We also need to create one EQS query context. So go into blueprint class, and then environment query context blueprint base. That's what we want right there. Select and then call this player context. Alright, open this guy up, and then functions we want to override. We want to provide actor set. Okay. Get all actors of class. We want this to be our character, so third person character, and then the out actor is right there. Alright. So now we're actually ready for the EQS itself. So let's open this guy up, and then let's do a grid. I'll go ahead and set the space. $1,000. And I think everything else is alright. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is right click, add a test. We want to do a distance. And then we want to go ahead and change this to score only. And the distance 3D we want to be player context. So it's measuring the distance to the player. And that's pretty much it. This is weird. It'll change when it's reset. So if I like close this out, open it again, it says player context now. I'm not sure why it does that, but it does it. So the second one, we want distance to, we want to actually distance to the courier. So we just want this score, of course. And then we want to switch this out to inverse linear. Basically, it's just scaling between the courier itself and the position, and the player and the position. So it's kind of doing multiple tests to get the perfect location. So now we also want to do a trace here. And we'll go ahead and select our player context, of course. And then we want this to be -1. And actually, no, we'll do filter and score. Okay. So now we want another trace. And that could be just left it regular. Want a dot. And line A, we want it to be rotation from the player context. Line B, we want the player context to the query. And we want that to be an absolute value. Oh, and check this out, score only. And then the rest could be just like that. And now, my last one, pathfinding. This will be score only. Path exists from courier. And the rest looks okay. Alright, so now, what we can actually do to test that out, is we can create a EQS pawn. EQS testing pawn. We'll just leave it at that name. Drag this little guy out here. We go ahead and save everything first. Okay. And then we can select our query template, hide, and this will show you where the points are that it's scoring from. So over here, you'll see that these green points are the points scoring the most, and over here, because here's the player, so it's scoring against those. So if I move him over here, it's detecting that these are hiding spots, which is kind of annoying, but they're not. But all these spots are hiding spots away from the player's vision, which is right there. Okay, so if I move this guy, like over here, it's very interesting, because it's selecting the closest points as well. The closest points that are also hiding points. I need to tweak the code so it doesn't test this stuff as hiding points as well, which is kind of obnoxious. I didn't realize it did that. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and delete that. And we don't have to keep him, we can delete him. Force delete. Alright, so now we can open up our character here. And yeah, okay, so we'll move depth down a node here. Over here. This can be triggered really any way you want it to be. I just think it's kind of cool doing it based on how much damage. So like, oh, I'm damaged, I better go hide, you know. So we want less than or equal to. Actually, let's do a range here too. Range. Let's do 40, 60, and greater than 0. Because we don't want him to be dead and trying to find a spot, you know what I mean? So we want to test both of them. Make sure it's less than a range between these, but it also has to be greater than 0. And actually, let's do greater than 1, just in case. Okay. Oh, and actually, I made a mistake here. So let's open up the controller. That's my bad. Technically, that should have been in the controller. But that's okay, because we can just do this. Run EQS. Right. And then run behavior tree. EQS behavior tree. And then we could just call run. Well, I guess we could have called run behavior tree in here too, but that's alright. True. Okay, so let's actually I want to see the health and see when it triggers. Okay. See, and now he's trying to go to hide somewhere. I mean, obviously that's not a hiding spot because I can see his head, but and see, so you can kind of adjust, you know, your level. So it kind of comes across as, you know, multiple cover spots, things like that. And you could tell them to crouch too. But yeah, I mean, there's some adjusting that needs to be put in here, but this will get us started. I need to work on setting up a variable too. Let's go back in, add a character. Let's create is EQS. I'm gonna set that to true. And that way we can start doing checks. So if is aiming is true, we want to see what the health is at. And if the health is where we want it to be, actually that would probably be better, wouldn't it? Do an event to run this instead of, that would probably be better. Yeah, let's do that. I'll just do a custom of that. Check EQS. Okay, so now we got that running. We can check EQS. What else can we do? That would be kind of cool. Maybe we can actually set is aiming to false here initially. Do once. Maybe. Okay. Let's change the min to 10. Interesting. Okay, so it's not detecting that. So what we can do, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and build up more, figure out exactly what I want to do, um, and then we'll go ahead and make another video. So yeah, so we got the EQS, I mean, working to a point where it functions. See, now he's going to hide. And we'll work on that so it keeps ticking through. Man, I just want to see. There we go, that's him running around. Moving to different points. He overlaps me. We kill him. It's not the best behavior in the world, but it works. And I'm pretty sure it's just, I disconnected the delay, that's why he kept moving around. But we'll take a look at that next time as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.